Senator, welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It was fascinating to watch the hearing yesterday. And here's where I wanted to start the conversation. We had Mike Novogratz on the program in the last hour. He's in the crypto business, in the industry. And one of the big questions is how to regulate the industry, but also when to regulate the industry, because there is an element where this is still early stage. It's still startup. And how much regulation do you want to put on now in the same kind of breath that we would have had a conversation about should have we regulated the internet more or not in the 1990s?
You know, you might look at this another way. Look at the lesson from history about when do we regulate drugs? As long as people can sell snake oil, it turns out that nobody really invested in having good drugs that were safe and that helped people. And once we really had an FDA that stood up and that said, you know what, we're going to test these drugs before they go on the market. We're going to assure the public that they are safe. Then look what happened. We got a whole lot more investment and obviously a much bigger market that helped the entire world. I don't want to wait until a whole lot of people, a whole lot of small investors, a whole lot of small traders have been completely wiped out. I think rules of the road that are there at the beginning that people say, you know, we got a cop on the beat, give people a lot of confidence, and they mean that the bad actors know, hey, somebody's watching out and we can't keep pushing frauds on people.
Senator, what do you make of this, though? And I've got in this critique myself, I often talk about trying to protect the little guy, the small investor, whether it's around crypto or some of the meme stocks and the like. And what I often hear now from people is, no, Andrew, stop. Don't protect me. You're not protecting me by talking about by trying to do that. You're actually protecting the big guy. You're protecting the establishment. That if you actually regulate this system, that the little guy is not the one that becomes the beneficiary of it. Give us the freedom to invest in what we want. That's a message that I keep hearing.
I want people to have freedom to invest. I just don't want a system where the big guys, where the shadowy guys, where the guys you never quite see can get out there and do pump and dump, can defraud people, can take in a lot of folks' money and then disappear. You know, I think the question is not just regulation. The question is how it's aimed. Who takes advantage of there being no rules? It's the big guys. Who wins when there's no cop on the beat? It's the big guys. So that's the part that I care about, and I care about it happening before a lot of people have been wiped out.
Do you believe crypto? Do you believe in crypto as an idea? I mean, is this something that you think personally has a great future? And is this something that you think may disrupt the financial industry in a positive way?
So, look, right now, one of the things that I think is very interesting is digital currency. You know, goodness knows that there has been an enormous failure by the big banks to reach consumers all across the country. Talk about the people, the millions of people who are unbanked or underbanked, who are paying way too much just to be able to have their paychecks cashed or to be able to pay their utility bills and their rents, just to try to get a little edge into the financial system because they don't have standard checking accounts. Digital currency and central bank digital currency may be an answer there because the costs are extraordinarily low for being able to transact. And maybe that will be a way going forward that we get more people into the system.
What do you make of the idea that there's a whole bunch of people who've invested in Bitcoin who are buying it as an inflation hedge because they believe that the government is spending too much money?
Well, look, people can make their own investment decisions, but to do that somehow assumes two things. One is that what's happening with Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is somehow going to be divorced from what's happening elsewhere in the economy. And secondly, that that the crypto coins are not going to have their own inflationary pressures. They may come from a different source than what happens with dollars. But look at what's happened in the high volatility in the price of these things. The idea that somehow they're a protection or a hedge, I don't think that's going to be borne out over time.